Are you truly living, or just existing inside someone else's answers? Socrates once said, "The unexamined life is not worth living." Imagine waking up from a long, dreamless sleep. You look around and realize the world is moving. People are busy. Everything seems purposeful. Yet you feel strangely disconnected, as if your own story never truly began. Today, I invite you into the discomfort of doubt. Not the easy comfort of ready-made truths, but the deeper courage of questioning. What if one honest question could change your entire destiny? Are you willing to risk everything you believe for the possibility of discovering what is truly yours? The unexamined life is not just a philosophical phrase, it's a warning. How much of your existence runs on autopilot? You wake, eat, work, scroll, sleep. You inherit customs, opinions, even dreams, as if they were hand-me-down clothes. Socrates looked at Athens and saw a city full of achievement, but empty of reflection. What about you? Have you ever questioned the very goals you chase, the rituals you repeat? It is possible to be alive for 70 years and never once truly live. The danger of the unexamined life is not failure, but the horror of waking up at the end and realizing it was never your life to begin with. As Socrates would ask, whose story are you really living? There is a peculiar courage in questioning what others accept as obvious. Socrates was a master of this courage. He wandered the agora, the marketplace of Athens, approaching poets, priests, generals, craftsmen, anyone who claimed to know. His weapon? A single question. Why? It sounds simple, almost childish. But few things are more dangerous to the status quo. Most people do not want to see the pillars of their world shake. Certainty is comforting, like a warm blanket on a cold night. Yet certainty can also be a prison. Socrates proved that often our strongest convictions are nothing more than inherited prejudices, untested beliefs. And so he asked again and again, until the wise grew silent and the proud grew angry. It was never answers that changed history, but questions that dared to break the spell of certainty. Imagine a conversation where your ignorance is not a flaw, but a gift. Socrates called himself the midwife of wisdom. He claimed to know nothing, yet his method gave birth to insight in others. Through relentless dialogue, he helped people untangle contradictions, expose assumptions, and find the seed of truth hidden beneath opinion. I know that I know nothing. But this was not self-deprecation. It was an invitation to grow. Most people spend their lives defending what they know. Socrates spent his life discovering what he didn't. The Socratic method is not about winning arguments. It is about becoming less wrong with every honest question. In the humility of ignorance, you find the courage to evolve. Ask yourself, are you seeking to appear wise, or are you brave enough to truly learn? To question yourself is to step into the unknown. Most of us construct our identities carefully, brick by brick, over years. The thought of pulling even one brick from that wall can feel like the beginning of collapse. Socrates forced his fellow citizens to confront their shadows, to see the gaps between their words and actions. Some recoiled, others lashed out. Few thanked him. Why? Because honest questioning is a kind of death. The death of an old self, an old certainty, an old mask. But only through that death can something more real, more alive emerge. As Jung would later echo, there is no coming to consciousness without pain. The question isn't, can you handle the discomfort? The real question is, can you handle the regret of never daring to know yourself? From childhood, we learn to put on masks. Some we inherit, some we craft ourselves, some are forced upon us. The mask of the good student, the loyal child, the successful worker, the agreeable friend. We become so skilled at performance that we forget the face beneath. Socrates asks, "Who are you really?" When all the roles are stripped away, whose desires are you chasing, the world's or your own? To live authentically is a radical act. It means questioning not only what you do, but why you do it. It means risking misunderstanding, criticism, even loneliness. Yet, to remain behind the mask is a quieter, slower death, the death of the soul's truth. Authenticity is not something found, but something forged in the fire of relentless self-questioning. Quite few things are more subversive than asking the powerful why. Socrates paid the ultimate price for his questions, accused of corrupting the youth and disrespecting the gods. But authority, whether parental, political, religious, or cultural, always fears the questioner. When you question authority, you risk exile. From comfort, from the group, sometimes from safety itself. Yet, as history shows, every movement that ever changed the world began not with obedience, but with a refusal to accept, "Because I said so." What dogmas, spoken or silent, are you living by? Are they truth, or just traditions you've never dared to examine? Groupthink is the quiet assassin of original thought. Athens was the world's first democracy, yet it silenced its bravest questioner out of fear and conformity. Today, we may not drink hemlock for our questions, but we risk ostracism, digital mobs, loss of status. The echo chamber has only grown louder. Socrates reminds us, consensus is not always truth. The herd is often wrong, but comfortable. The questioner is often alone, but free. Do you seek applause, or are you willing to walk the lonelier road for a more honest? Confessing "I don't know" is revolutionary. In a culture obsessed with confidence and certainty, humility is rare and powerful. Socrates saw the arrogance of certainty as the greatest enemy of growth. The humble person becomes a student of life forever, open to new experiences, always curious. How many conflicts, broken relationships, failed careers began because someone was too proud to say, "Maybe I'm wrong." The world rewards those who pretend to know, but it transforms those who dare to keep learning. Real wisdom is not having all the answers, but never losing the courage to ask. Wonder is the seed of all philosophy, all science, all art. Socrates understood that the deepest minds remain open, questioning, childlike in curiosity. What have you stopped wondering about, out of habit or fear? Imagine if, today, you let go of needing to be certain and gave yourself permission to wonder again. What new worlds might you discover? To live the examined life is to make questioning a daily ritual. It's not enough to ask once, to read once, to awaken once. Socrates practiced examination as a way of being. Each evening reflect, did I act from habit or from my true values? Each morning ask, what assumption am I carrying into this day? A free mind is not free by accident. It is disciplined, forged by the habit of honest inquiry. The true journey of life is not outward, but inward. Each question is a lantern illuminating the dark corridors of your psyche. Socrates used questions as keys, unlocking deeper layers of self-awareness. Instead of asking, what do I want? Ask, who is the I that wants? With every layer peeled back, you risk encountering your shadows and your light. Self-knowledge is not comfortable, but it is the root of all genuine freedom. Our beliefs are both maps and cages. Some guide us, others imprison us. The Socratic method is the art of unlearning. What belief do I hold that no longer serves me? To unlearn is to risk getting lost, but only then can you draw a new map. Imagine what your life would be if, every year, you let go of just one belief that limited you. Growth is not just adding knowledge, but subtracting illusion. Every person carries a forbidden question, the one that would unravel their status, their relationships, even their sense of self. Socrates believed our greatest potential lay beyond the questions we fear. The question you avoid is the door to your transformation. What is the one question that, if you truly asked it, might shatter everything false and set you free? In a world obsessed with winning arguments, Socrates practiced the lost art of true dialogue. For him, conversation was not a battleground, but a dance, a way for two minds to uncover truth together. To converse Socratically is to seek understanding, not victory. To listen, not merely wait your turn to speak. In every true dialogue, both leave changed. When did you last talk with someone to discover, not to convince? Socrates drank poison rather than stop asking questions. His legacy endures because he taught us that a single question honestly asked can change a life, a city, even a civilization. Your legacy will not be the answers you gave, but the questions you dared to ask, and the transformation you allowed. Tonight, I leave you not with an answer, but with a challenge. What is the one question you are brave enough to live for the rest of your life? Be brave enough to ask. Be humble enough to not know. Be relentless enough to seek. Socrates never promised comfort, only awakening. The unexamined life is not worth living, but the questioned life, that's where everything truly begins.